Welcome everyone. Welcome to Cap Geek. Today we will be looking at Python Basics 001. Before starting Python, let's talk about what is programming. So programming is giving set of instructions to a computer. Why we would like to do that? We would like to do that because we would like to perform some automation maybe. We would like to go with machine learning, computer vision, a lot of different requirements. For example, we have, let's go with three different instructions. Instructions 1, 2 and 3. Similarly over here, 1, 2 and 3. We would like to give these three instructions to a computer, and computer will perform these instructions in a sequential manner. To do a programming, we need a programming language. What is Python? Python is a programming language. To be more specific, it's a general purpose programming language which is used to do multiple things. So understand a programming language, let's first understand what language is. For example, we have English. English is used to communicate between two humans. Suppose we have a human A, we have a human B. If they would like to communicate between each other, we use English. Similarly, if you would like to communicate between a machine A and a human B, we use Python to do that. We get certain instructions to machine and we get a feedback altogether. For that, we use Python. So in this module, we will be using an interactive session. Over here, this is an interactive session. We will be using an interactive session to do all the programming. We are using interactive session because we get a direct feedback. Let's start with some basics. Let's say go with 2 plus 2, we have 4. We go with 2 plus 4 or 3 plus 4, we have 7. We can type anything we would like to and we will get a response up effective immediately. That is really important for the module altogether. We can also use a simple notepad to write the scripts, a Python script to work on together. Before moving ahead, we'd like to understand that every single interpreter works on a sequential manner. Whatever we type, whatever we ask the system to do, does that effective immediately. This is a thing called comments. Comments are used. Let's go with this. Is a comment. Nothing happened because comments are used to actually explain the code. When code actually gets bigger, like it's actually get bigger, it's extremely difficult for the person who is writing the code, the person who is reading the code later on to understand the code. So it becomes really difficult to do so. This is why we use comments. Comments are used to get it simpler, to actually understand it, to write some descriptions about something which you're performing, which is a good saying of a computer language, I would say, that always write a code and comments as if the guy who ends up maintaining your code will be a violent sociopath. Oh, sounds scary, right? Well, who knows where you will live? Yeah, that can be scary. Definitely, we use that to actually. It's a motivation to write a beautiful code and comments. Always use comments to write a code. So before starting ahead, let's talk about data types. So what is data types? Data types are kind of a words, I would say, or different rules which has been used by the interpreter or any programming language to understand what we are trying to convey to this computer. We have multiple data types. Let's start with numbers. We have three types of numbers in Python. We have integers, we have floats, which we will talk about in a minute, and we have complex numbers. I think everyone is aware of complex numbers. Anyhow, we will discuss that too. Integers are simple, which we have already learned in class 8th, I would say. 1, 2, -1, 0, these all are integers. Floats are more of divisions, I would say. It's a 1.1, 1.4, maybe 5.6, or anything of that sort. When you have a point in numbers, it's called floats, complex numbers. When we have, let's go with 30j. When we write j, it is called a complex number. Let's talk ahead. What we have? We have strings. Strings is kind of a word. These all are strings. Numbers, what I'm writing over here, or anything I do is called strings. Unlike numbers, I would say. Let's talk strings. We have strings. Unlike numbers, strings always, I would say, are written between double quotes or single quotes. Example, I would say, let's go with calf, geek. This is a string. You can download all these notes below. You don't have to copy it with me. You can easily download it after the whole module gets over. Let's talk about something called as booleans. Many people are aware of numbers, they are aware of strings, but you might not be aware of booleans. We have two types of booleans in our systems: true or false. So these are all data types. Before moving forward, let's see something simple in the interactive session. The beauty of the interactive session is we have interactive mode, I would say. We have help. We call for help. So there is a function called type to understand altogether. Let's go with type. So you can easily go and click over here. When you click over here, you can get all different types of information you would need about the type altogether. So let's say I would like to know what is their type of 30. You can say class int. Int over here is integer. Int stands for integer. Let's go ahead. Let's go with type. Let's go 4.5. It's float. Everyone knows what float stands for. It's a point numbers which we're talking just discussed. Let's go with type 90j. It's a complex number which we already have discussed. So let's move forward. After simple data types, we have operators. Now, operators are actually really important for in any programming language. We will be discussing over here arithmetic operators. We have other operators as well. We will be discussing everything, but let's start with arithmetic operators. We have three different type of operators which we'll be discussing about: arithmetic, comparison, and boolean. Let's talk about arithmetic operators. So what are arithmetic operators? Arithmetic operators are simple operators which you use in mathematics, I would say, which are, let's go with simple ones. Let's from A, that's nice. We have plus, minus, we have multiplication. Let's take example as well. We have 5 plus 2, which is 7. We have 5 minus 2, which is 3. We have 2 into 3, which is 6. That's what we have more. We have division. We have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Right. Third, we have division. This is not simple division, it's a floor division. We will discuss about that too. For example, we have 9 by 2. We will get over here, we should get 4.5. But due to this, we will not get 4.5. We will get 4. We will get integer output using double division. There's one more we have. In fact, two more. We have simple exponent. For example, let's go with 2 exponent expo 3, which is 2 exponent 3 is 8. It is similar as 2 raised to power 3, which is also equal to 8. We use this symbol altogether to perform that. Okay, we have one more symbol which is called as modulus. We have all of them called as modulus. For example, we would like to know what is 9 modulus 2, which is 1. We will just see what examples these are. So let's take a simple division over here. We like to divide 9 by 2. We get 8, we get 4 over here, we get 1 over here. This is modulus. If you want to get this, use modulus. If you would like to get this, a quotient, this is a remainder over here. You can use modulus to get a remainder. You get a quotient from using double division. If you would like to have, let's say, let's go with down 0. We have 0.5, go 10, and we have 0. To do that, we will need simple division. Get the whole thing, get a simple division slash this one over here. Let's move forward. These are all arithmetic operators. We will take one examples of all these operators altogether. Let's say we would like to do 2 plus 3, 5. That's nice. 2 minus 3 minus 1. That's nice too. Let's go with 2 into 3, 6. Fabulous. 6 divided by 2, 3.0. We go with 9 double mod 2. It's 4. We don't have a point over here. Over there we have a point. For example, if we go with 9 divided by 2, it's 4.5. But if we use double slash, we are using a simple division double slash. It's a floor division. We get an integer value, a simple quotient. For example, we like to know the remainder. We go with 9 mod 2. It's 1 modulus. Let's move forward. Let's talk about comparison operators. We just had talked about arithmetic operators. Second on the list comes comparison operators. So what are comparison operators? Comparison operators give you Boolean data type, return as Boolean data type. Why they are used? They are used to control the flow of the program. We will talk about the flow later on, but let's see what all comparison operators we have. We have less than, we have less than equal to, we have greater than, we have greater than equal to, we have equal to. This is used to equate between two different numbers, I would say, or anything, or strings, or any data types, I would say, can be used to equate using simple equal to operator. We have not equal to. When we say something is not equal to something, we use this. We have two more, which we will not discuss right now. We'll discuss this later. We have is and is not. We'll later on discuss this. You can only just know these are there. Let's take examples of all the comparison operators. Let's move forward. So for example, I would like to say 2 is greater than 3, which is false. That's what we get. Let's go with 5 is less than 10. It's true. Let's say we have 2 is equal to 2. That's right. We said 2 is not equal to 2. That's false. We can take anything we want to. We can also go with, let's say 4 is greater than equal to 10. That's false. That's not true. So in greater than equal to, we say either it's greater than or it's equal to. We don't know what it is. Let's move forward. Let's go with Boolean operators. We had just talked about comparison operators. Let's talk about Boolean operators. What are Boolean operators? Boolean operators are used when you would like to combine two different comparison operators in a single instruction or a single line, I would say. So we have three types of Boolean operators. A is or, we have an or, we have and, that's nice, we have not. These are three Boolean operators. Let's take an example. Let's say I would like to know if 2 is greater than 2 is less than 3, and I'm writing and over here, 4 is greater than 5. So 2 is less than 3 is true, but 4 is greater than not 5. So it's false. If both the statements are true, then only the next statement should be true. It's false. Let's say 2 is greater than 1 and 5 is greater than 4. It's true. If both statements are true, then it's true. Let's go with 2 is greater than 1 or 4 is greater than 5. In this case, it's true because either of the statements are true, then it's true. There is also not with not 2 is greater than 1. Anything which should be true gets to false, false gets true. That's all. Not does nothing special. False because should be true. Now it's false. Let's draw a simple table to actually understand. the whole idea behind and or. We have and over here. So for example, we have statement A, we have statement B, and this is our output. If statement A is true and B is true, the output is true. Statement A is true, false, output is false. We have false, true, it's false. If it's false, false, it's false. So if both statements are true, then only the output should be true. This is in the case of and. If you talk about or, we have A, we have B, and we have output. So let's say we have true, true, the output will be true. We have one true, false, output will be true. Let's move forward. Let's say we have false, true, the output would be true. It's false, false, then it's false. Only in case of this, so both the statements are false, then only the output of or would be false. So these all about comparison and operators and Boolean operators. Let's go with ahead. Let's talk about variables. Now, in every programming language, whether Python, C++, or Java, variables are really important. So before understanding variables, let's say why it is important. Variables are important because we can't always write numbers or constants to get a value. We would like to store something in it. For example, when you open a simple page in Amazon, you always get hello and you get your name over here, right? Whatever it is. So why you get this? You get this because this over here, your name is a variable. It will change from user to user. If user 1 will open it, it will get ABC. User 2 will open it, it will get, for example, ZYZ, ZYZ. User 3 will open it, it will get, let's go with anything, let's go with 21 or 21A. That's a funny name, but yeah, you can have it. Maybe B21A. Yeah, you can have that. So that will change with the person who is using it. So that's why we use variables. Variables are used when there's something in the code which get vary according to the situation of the code. So that's why we use variable. So what is a variable? The question is what? So variables are nothing but a placeholder. You need to understand why we use a placeholder. So let's say we have a box. Box has name A. We can store any value we want. We can store in it 100, we can store value 200, we can store value 300, anything we would like to store, we can store it in variable. So when we call A, so when we say what is A, so it will depend on which value is currently stored. Maybe I remove 100, I will store 200, it will say output is 200 in A. If I remove 200, I would say 300, I will cost what is A, it will say 300 is A. So it will change according to what is stored. So it's called a placeholder. So what? So let's take a simple example over here. Let's say we have A is equal to 10. So now value of A is 10. So we are giving away a value of 10. So A is a placeholder. Let's say B is equal to 20. So do that, we say B has a value of 20. We'll go with A plus B, 30. Right? Let's go with A is equal to 1,000. Now we are giving value A of 1,000. We'll go with A plus B. B is still 20. We have not changed the value of B altogether. It is 100 and 1,020, I would say. 1,020. We can say CAF is equal to what, like 156. Geek is equal to 783. Maybe let's go with 234. Yeah, that's all. So we can say what is A plus B, whatever is A plus B, we already know it's 10, 1020. Let's go with A plus B divided by CAF. We can use divided by CAF. We can use these brackets to actually rationalize how we would like to solve the equation. You can say minus geek, it is negative 227.46. So you can use variables to actually get into the equation. So there are some limitations on what can you name the variables. So let's say not every variable name can be legally done. So we have some limitations. So let's talk about variable name instructions. Variable variable name rules. Yeah, rule sounds good. So we have certain rules to name variables. So let's talk with number one, which it must contain only letters. Must contain, oh, sorry, contain only number one letters. Or I'm using or, I'm not using and or underscore. Right. Third, numbers. Number two, it should only start with either letter or underscore. Let's say only start with number one letter or a underscore. Rule number three, it should not contain a keyword or special character. It should not, I would say, contain, it should not be a special character. Should not be a, it should not be a keyword, first of all. The question is what is keyword altogether? We will see what is keyword. Number four, it should not contain symbols or special symbols or special characters. Not contain, let's go with symbols, I would say, or like a special characters. That's much better. So what are special characters? We have like at the rate, we have multiplication or raised to power. Let's say we have division, anything. We should not have these special characters. So question is what is keyword? So to know what is keyword, let's go with help. That's the best part of interactive mode. Let's say keywords. So all these are keywords: false, class, from, or, none, true. So all these words are specially defined in Python to perform a specific function. These are called keywords. Not everything can be done in Python. We have certain specific words being defined, predefined to actually know what is a keyword. So let's say let's move ahead and let's talk about a string as well, which we talked about data type. So let's say we have calf, right? So calf is equal to, no, let's go with a. A is equal to calf and spacebar. We have b. Let's say b is equal to geek. As you can see, I'm using double quotes over here. The usage of double quotes are being used because it's a string. If I go with type, let's say type A. So what is A? A is string. str is a short form of string. So we go with A plus B. This is called concatenation. I'm using a comment below after that. So this is called concatenation. So what is concatenation? Concatenation is actually attaching two different strings together. It is called concatenation. It is called concatenation. Spelling can be wrong, you can check it in Google, but I'm pretty sure it's right. Anyhow, so this is called concatenation. Calf geek. Alright. So let's have a quick recap what we discussed. We discussed about different type of data types. Starting what we discussed programming. Programming is nothing but giving set of instructions. We discussed Python. Python is a programming language similar to English. English is used between human to human, and Python is used between machine and human. You get the idea, right? Data types, we have number, integer, floats, complex numbers, strings. We already discussed what strings are. We can use double quotes as well as single quotes. We can use either one of them, double or single. We have Boolean, you have seen true and false. We have operators, we have arithmetic operators, we have seen all these arithmetic operators. Modulus is really important, will see that in future. We have seen comparison operators, we have not seen is and is not, which we will see later on in different modules. We have seen other comparison operators, we have seen Boolean operators, we have seen the usage of Boolean and or. We also see not. Okay, whatever, here we talk about variables. What are variables? Variables are a placeholder which changes according to the program, the what user wants, what the programmer wants altogether, or anyone else wants. As you can see in different websites, we get hello something with your name. The name over there is variable. If user 1 opens, it's ABC. User 2 opens, it's XYZ, depending on something else. So that's a variable. So we have certain rules from a variable. It only contains letter and underscore. It should not letter underscore numbers. It should only start with letters, or underscore it cannot start with number. We can see an example of this too. It should not be a keyword. It should not contain a special character. Let's take an example. Let's go with n underscore calf is equal to 2. It's valid. If I go with 1 calf is equal to 3, it's an error. It's a syntax error. So syntax is basically it's error that we can't name something 1 calf. If I can go with calf 1 is equal to 2, that's right. We have no problem with that. Can you use at the rate with calf? No, we can't use at the rate. It will. I have to actually cancel it altogether because at the rate is a directive which we'll study later on. Let's go with dollar over here. Dollar calf. Syntax error similar. Can we go with calf dollar? No, we can't go with calf dollar as well because that's wrong. We can't use dollar and altogether it's a special symbol, special character. Can we go with calf underscore? Yes, we can go with calf underscore. Let's go with calf underscore 3. Yes, that's right. So these are variable names which we can use altogether. Thank you. Thank you for anything. If you have any doubts, you can simply comment below or write me an email. Thank you. You can download these notes from the description. Thank you very much and have a nice day.